he started using paper towels from the kitchenette that was attached to him. And it was a lot.
SD card full.
So I had a big wad of paper towels pressed to my nose, trying not to drip on the white rug, when Armando walked through the kitchenette and into the living room. He and the publicist were concerned. He said, "Do you need a few minutes?" He understood about bloody noses.
Well, since I have one.
The publicist said, "Would you like to use the toilet?" I said, "Yes, that would be great. Thank you so much. I am so sorry about this. Where is that toilet?" And I went to the bathroom to wrap this mess up. And I had what seemed to be a rolling series of bloody noses, or one big one that had many phases. I don't know. But what I do know from sad, gross experience is that a bloody nose means there's a clot somewhere high up in my nose that needs to come out for the bloody nose to stop. So I was trying to blow my nose and blow the clot out, and it took me some time to realize that as I was doing that, unsuccessfully, I was spraying tiny droplets of blood all over. The sink, the toilet seat, the floor, the mirror, the wallpaper. I started wiping everywhere, like it was a crime scene. And I rolled up a tight little roll of toilet paper and stuck it up my right nostril to catch the blood. That's what I do at home when I have a bloody nose and no one's looking. And the little roll of toilet paper filled with blood and fell on the floor as I was wiping the floor. Had to roll up another one. That filled with blood. Roll up a new one. Take out the old one. Repeat. I went through an entire roll of toilet paper and had to start a new one. So I was pacing around this little bathroom with toilet paper in my nose, looking for tiny blood drops and muttering to myself, "You gotta wrap this up. Wrap it up. Wrap this up." And time was passing. So I started thinking, maybe I could interview Armando Iannucci with rolled up toilet paper sticking on my nose. Or maybe I could stick a really tiny bit of toilet paper far enough up my nose that he wouldn't see it, but it would still block the blood. This nosebleed went on for half an hour. It was a full-on anxiety dream come to life. And Armando Iannucci's movies and TV shows are full of awkward scenes that happen on the job. A person trying to do a serious thing and getting thwarted by something dumb and embarrassing, like a pair of squeaky shoes. In one of his movies, an assistant secretary of state starts bleeding from her teeth in the middle of a meeting. And what usually happens in these scenes is the person just gets pounced on, mocked, without mercy by their colleagues or rivals or the press. Any vulnerability or misstep is noticed and minimized. But Armando Iannucci, the real person, in real life, did something completely different. I walked out of the bathroom, not even sure the interview was still possible. So much time had been lost. And he said, with perfect grace, "I'm not in a rush." He and the publicist, Nada, simply put the whole thing behind us. Nada said, "Look, he's got a photo shoot in half an hour, but he can come back after that." Armando said, "We'll talk for a while, and then I'll go and come back, and we'll talk more." It was like he waved a wand over me and said, "You had a nightmare, and now it's over," which is the opposite of what happens in his new play. I wanted to interview Armando because his work is so good at capturing things about now, about the present. And I saw that he was doing a stage version of an old Cold War film, Dr. Strangelove, by Stanley Kubrick. And I found it alarming.
I remember
this was
Dr.
a stage
Strangelove.
project. I mean, it's a comedy, but the last scene is nuclear Armageddon and the end of the world. So what did he see in it that spoke to him about now? Why choose that particular story out of all possible stories at this moment? Well, part of the answer to why now is someone asked.
Well, Dr. Strange is one of those films that's always been in my top 5 movies of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't think I've ever seen
Armando
it.
Iannucci.
Huh?
We
I've
got a
ever
call
seen that
from
film.
director and co-adapter
What?
by Sean Foley.
What are they talking about?
Who asked Armando,
didn't
do
hear
you want to work
Doctor
on it?
whatever it was.
Armando quickly said,
Strangelove?
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's the best
I thought it was a James Bond film.
ever made. I'm a huge Kubrick fan. The other reason I said yes was because
Sounds like a James
this
Bond
was
film.
several years ago. At the time, climate change was becoming a much more stark reality. There was a kind of a sensation of, we don't do something immediate about this. The world isn't going to come back from it. That sense of us as a collective species still being unable to save ourselves from our own behavior.
Us as a species being unable to save ourselves from our own behavior is the plot of Dr. Strangelove. The entire story lives in minutes right before the world pivots from a planet full of life to a deathscape of ashes and poison. The story is an American general goes quietly nuts. He's a conspiracy theorist who believes commies are poisoning America through fluoridation.